Hey guys, welcome to this next YouTube video. Today I'm going to cover a few tips on how to tackle shorter putts. Let's get into the video. So when I'm talking about short putts, I'm talking about putts that are a foot to around about 5 to 6 feet. Okay? And these are the distance putts that we really want to be holding, but obviously it can prove difficult sometimes. Due to us being so close to the hole, there could be a few things that we do that negatively affect the putt. And if we negatively affect the putt when we have such a short distance, it's most likely going to miss because there's such a short space and there's no time for error. So we need to ensure that our start line and our speed control is on point in order to hold the putt. Any slight discrepancy in your technique or your pace can then cause you to miss these putts, and obviously I'm sure you know, if you miss a putt that's from 6 feet and in, it's probably one of the most frustrating things on the golf course because it's a putt that we expect to hold. Obviously it's important to manage expectations because the tour average from 6 feet is around about 60%, so even the top guys aren't holding every single short putt, but obviously we want to give ourselves the best chance to hold every single putt. On the PGA Tour, the person who wins that week generally holds 90 to 95% of his putts inside 6 feet. So if you want to shoot on your handicap or have a good round, then I'd recommend making sure you're dialed in on these 6 feet and in putts. So as you can see here, I'm faced with around about a 5 foot up, okay? And there's a few things that I want to talk about when facing this putt that I think you guys should implement into your stroke. So the most common thing I see with short putts is people coming out of the putt too early. So this would mean that they're almost trying to steer the ball into the hole. This causes them to come out of posture through impact, which causes the face to most likely be open through impact, causing that miss. So just like so, they get here and then they try and steer it in, okay, and they really open themselves up to the ball. Okay, that's a very common miss, trying to steer the putt in because you just really want it to get there. A common fault that I see also, if that person doesn't steer and try and reach their putter into the hole, then what I also see is players come out of posture, so just like so. So you can see there my stroke was good, my stroke was the right length, I didn't steer it, but I came out of posture because I was searching for my ball and trying to watch my ball's every move to make sure it goes in the hole. Again, that's not going to help, and most likely that will also leave the face open. Another common fault is people obviously get quite shaky on these putts. Generally when we get shaky, we really tense up and that causes quite a quick stroke through the ball, which can generally cause a left miss. So obviously you can see there, if I'm too tense, I'm going to be too quick. If I'm trying to steer the putt into the hole, then that's not going to help. And if I'm coming out of posture, then that's also not going to help. So them three things there are probably the most three common faults I see people do on short putts. How I want to go about correcting this is I want you guys to focus when you have a short putt. I don't want you to look at the hole until the ball's gone in, okay? Firstly, what that's going to do is that's going to keep you in posture. Because if I just focus on a fixed point just behind the ball, and then I hit the putt, not focusing on where the ball's gone, you can see there that's allowed me to stay in posture. I've allowed my arms to come through, I've allowed my stroke to do what it needs to do. I haven't tried to steer it, and I haven't come out of posture because I'm not looking for the ball. So just focusing on a point just behind the ball is going to keep your body very stable. If your body's very stable, then that's obviously going to give you less chance to push or pull it, just because your face is going to be stable as well. What that also stopped is any sort of steer, because when we keep our head down and we keep our centre of our chest still, it's hard to extend that forward stroke out. So you can see there I was just allowed just to swing it 50-50 and to really focus on what my putter's doing instead of what the ball's doing. So obviously step number one is to try and feel like you stay in posture until the ball's gone in the hole. When the ball's gone in, then you can come out of posture, walk and grab your ball at the hole. Okay, that's sort of step number one. Step number two is I want you to feel like you really grip your putter lightly on these putts. Okay, because that's going to stop you getting too tense and then yipping it. And then step number three, when you've got a nice light grip on the putter, when you're going to keep your head still and stay in posture until the ball's gone in, the third thing I want you to do is to focus just on your putter. Okay, so if I focus on the putter, I'm just going to make sure that I have that 50-50 stroke, I'm keeping it nice and smooth. So if I've got a nice smooth 50-50 stroke, if I keep my head still and stay in posture, and if I have a light grip pressure, then everything should look like this. You can see there, I'm really in control. There's no way my putter is going to be affected by my body movements. There's no way my putter is going to be affected by my grip movements, causing a yippy stroke. And also there's no way when I'm staying in posture, I'm not going to be forced or persuaded to try and steer the ball into the hole. Okay, so if you get yourself in posture, if you stay in posture throughout the whole stroke, if you really release your grip pressure so you're nice and relaxed, and then focus on your putter just having a nice 50-50 stroke, just so you don't steer the putt into the hole. As all three of them things can cause you to miss, just like you've seen there. So I hope you enjoyed them few tips just on short putts. Give them a go on your practice green and then try and implement that on the course, and you should really be able to master them. It's going to save you a lot of free putts when you're on the course, which is obviously then going to save you many shots. If you could like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.